Day 602, we've got a random cat in the yard. Must know Charlotte lives here. And it'll get well looked after, apart from she's not here at the moment because she's got COVID, so maybe Olivia will feed it. Day 2 of MAXXUM forwards and reverse problems. I've got my foot in the clutch. We've also got it in neutral. And Rob's shaking the wires to see if anything flickers, but nothing is. Even got it in gear now, in low. Nothing. The boiler was acting up with fuel. Anyway, I found that stick sort of stuck in the bottom, going round and round, stopping the flow. So took it out now. Just on the BOBCAT now, telehandler. When you start it up, it tells you it's cold. There's a light switch everyone was telling me about last night. So seems a bit odd that it's the main lights are such a small switch when you've got a big switch there that doesn't seem to do anything, so I don't know what that does. Now we're testing the relays to see what's going on. Not got enough hands, have we? You've got that. Right, I'll switch this on the battery. Need an extra hand, does it? The battery. While Robin's been messing with this, I've just noticed these like lifting eyes under the front of the radiator. I don't know what they're for. It's just a bit odd. Unless it's something to do with production, or they put a bar through for front linkage maybe, I don't know. I'll have a quick look at this BOBCAT telehandler. First thing I like about it is it's got wheels like a Class, same colour as the Class, red. It's got a cab guard on because it's a waist spec machine, which does make it look like you're in the zoo when you're in the cab. But I can understand the reason for that, because that windscreen looks expensive being completely curved. And then it's also got these light protector guards as well. Now, to me, if you're going to drop something on there that'd smash the light, it's probably going to bend that anyway, I don't know. And it probably restricts the light. You get stuff stuck inside it, I don't know. It's got a toolbox, which is a good idea. Not many telehandlers have toolboxes, and that's quite neat where your hydraulic fittings are as well. It's actually got 2 and then a 3rd service as well, so I'm not sure why that is. It's on a Manitou headstock, which is quite reliable and easy to use. LED lights on the boom as well. We may just stay outside actually. Light guards again on the back, just clamped on. So rear service, counterbalance weight, quite a simple hitch latching mechanism there. Let's see what engine's in it. Oh, the car, it must be locked. Let's go and get the key. There's a key in the cab. Can't open the bonnet because the key in the cab doesn't seem to fit the lock. So I have no idea what engine's in it. Can't really see through the mesh. Can we? No, we can't. Anyway, big white bonnet. Traditional BOBCAT. Not a fan of the door. It doesn't quite even open 45 degrees. It's got that strap that stops it opening any further, which is a bit annoying. When you're sat inside and you want to jump out and go that way, you've got to like walk all the way around it. But I do like that. That's pretty good, the level of it. And then also that interior mirror doesn't half show you quite a fair bit from behind, which helps because it's completely glazed, that back corner. So you've not really got any blind side there. And you can see that back wheel as well from the cab. You sat quite low in it though, which I don't know why they do this, because you want to really be able to see where you're tipping. And if you remember, Fent did one and the cab goes up and down so you can see. It's also double cab guarded, so you've got the bars on the outside there, and then you've got the bars on the inside. So when you're looking up, you're looking through quite a mess of steel really. You can, if you have your head in the right place like that, they all line up. But if you have your head slightly over, you've got double bars. See? Light switch, there's a huge light switch there that doesn't turn the lights on. It's the little light switch there, which about 20 people told me about last night. It's only got 2 pedals, so you push it a little bit and it's like a dump pedal like on the Merlo. Push it a bit further and you've got a brake accelerator as well. Joystick forwards and reverse on it, which is good because you can see what you're in. It's not like the Merlo though, where you kind of press it once and it's in and then it puts a light on. I mean, this does, but the switches will stay in reverse rather than spring back to central. I presume that's float on the bucket as well. Air conditioning, squeaky seat, fire extinguisher. That's probably again because it's a waste spec one, but it's nice to see. There's quite a bit of room behind the seat if you wanted to have a toolbox with you. Back window opens as well, and then obviously that's your escape hatch if you roll it over. On your left hand side, got a coat hook. And then room for a radio. Forwards and reverse. Lights indicators. So let's start it up. There we go. It's quite quiet. See if it whines like the Merlo. That's quite slow speed, it does. It's got foam filled tyres as well actually, so that's so it can't get punctures. It's quite rough though actually on them potholes in the yard. But when you foam fill them, you set them to a pressure and that's about it. It's quite nippy. I suppose we'll have a proper play tomorrow with it. Get some wood chip in the bucket or some grain and see what it's like. It's only an 8 metre one. The hydraulics are pretty quick though. That's booming out now. And boom's quite chunky, like really chunky. And I'm shaking it now and it's not lifting the back end up. And it rises quick. It'll boom in and out at the same time, which is good. Must have a big, it's got shaky. Let it stop shaking and go again. Yeah, it must have quite a big hydraulic pump on it because if I lift the boom now and boom out, it'll do both operations at once. Something's reverberating down there now. Gets that. Feels plenty pokey though, like you rev it up, it's really responsive, the engine. Don't know whether this adjusts. Yeah, it does. Quite a big steering wheel. It's got obviously 4-wheel steering, 2-wheel steer mode, so you can line it up on the dash and flick between modes, I think. Yeah, there it is, there it's got crab as well. So we'll have a proper play tomorrow. Noticed that 3-year warranty, that's good. Yeah, them tyres are foam filled, so you won't get any punctures. But I think that's because it's this waste expert machine. It's not an ag spec one. And I think there's even a newer model as well now. Look at that blue sky, cracking autumn day. We'll see how Robin's getting on anyway. He's been messing with the MAXXUM most of the morning. I've been helping him on and off, but can't seem to make any sense of these electrics. If you think dog fields are a good idea, they kind of can be, but there's some hard work. They just had to go up then because you're supposed to leave at 5 to the hour so that if people arrive on the hour for the next slot, they can just go straight on the field. Anyway, someone had arrived on the hour. There was people still in there with the dogs. I think they were doing some sort of puppy class. There was a bit of a fracas because they were 2 minutes late going on and they were 5 minutes late leaving, and you just... Why can't people... There's rules. If everyone followed them for the field, it'd be easy. You know, if they left at 5 to the hour, then the next person arriving wouldn't have a problem. But no, people push the luck a little bit and then it upsets the next people and then they get arsey with the next people despite the fact that they're in the wrong and you're trying to smooth it out and you just... What the hell? Just, yeah, so if you think of opening a dog field, just be warned that you have to deal with some public that just don't know how to... I don't know, what's the word? Maybe behave or something. Got some fuel in the Mini Merlo, but I've got this sort of thing on the dashboard. I don't know, that's telling me that the DPF needs to regen. So I'll flick that switch down, but nothing's happened yet. So remember Day602, me and Olivia made a pizza oven. Anyway, it was a bit like the painting the Fent. It's not finished yet, even though it was months ago. So we decided we're going to make the base out of a piece of steel rather than cast it, because it'd be easier to clean. So we're just going to try and finish it today and then maybe light it and see what it works like. So Olivia's just polishing the rust off this plate now, so that we don't end up with orange pieces. Stuff to get bored. It's no wonder it never broke when Sam dropped it off the pallet, because look how thick it is. Anyway, we're going to put it on a steel now and try it. Right, rather than make the frame for underneath and cut a load of steel up, we're going to try it first and see if it works. And then if it works, then we'll start making a frame. So I'm just going to try and light it inside now, if the lighter works. So we've got a little bit of wood chip. We'll light that, and then we'll try and get some wood and logs burning. We might need a fire lighter as well.
That's like really expensive.
Is it?
Yeah, look at it. Like,
I'm hoping that the plastic tube in here then will melt out, we can get it out, or it doesn't melt and it stays in forever. Oh, it's gone out. We'll have to get a fire lighter. If anyone doesn't remember, you could watch the video, but we made it out of a gym ball. MERLO fired pizza oven. Don't know where you can see. No, you can't. It's like a cyclone of smoke swirling around inside. That must be why it gets so hot in there. Put some wood in. We decided that it needs a straight through pipe, so there's an offcut off Andrew's tractor. There we go. The mega structure's steaming. Don't know whether that's because it's been left outside in the rain or it's just going to dry and crack. Didn't get it on video, but that plate has just suddenly buckled and bounced, and that's why it's curled up there. It's obviously warming up at a different rate. Must be warm because the water's bubbling out the cracks in the cement. There's no smoke coming out of it, there's just steam off the outside because it's so hot, it's burning the gases itself. There's no smoke. PTO shaft thing has melted completely. So hopefully it'll drop out and then we'll put the stainless steel tube in. So that's dropping in now. There we go. It's only ever the mould anyway. Nice circle. Just put some more logs on so it started smoking again, but when you put dry logs on and they start to light, you end up with no smoke. It just burns that hot inside, it burns its own gases, which is great. Anyway, my nephew's gone to see if my mum's got some yeast and make some dough, and we're going to try cooking a pizza on it. I think it started at, what was it, like day 400 and something odd, and it's now day 600. Just took out, it was like a long project, but it's not broken. You can just see the plate now, it's completely sort of like buckled up. And that's because it's expanded at the top and the bottom hasn't, and it's pushed down and caused it to curve. But the superstructure's not cracked, which is good, so it means it's worked. So we're just getting it a bit hotter, put a few more logs on and then see if we can cook something. I was going to put these lights back on the 1455 while I was waiting for the pizza oven to warm up, but I still think we probably need a little bit more red, so I'm going to give them another coat. Robert spent yesterday and today with circuit testers testing all the wires. It's got a wiring diagram that someone's emailed to him, which is brilliant, apart from when you zoom in you can't read the writing, so it's a little bit of guesswork, but we think now it's just a couple of components that's failed, so can't really test much more other than getting some pressure switches from the bottom down there and some new diodes behind the dash, swapping around, see if that changes and it starts to work. But it's just really frustrating, electrical things like that, especially when they all work slightly differently. I mean, this is the day before ECUs, which in some ways makes it easier to fix, but then in other ways it can't tell you with a fault code what it actually is and flash a light or whatever. So a bit of messing around, convinced it was water in something, but maybe that's caused someone else to fry, so he's going to have another look in the week. Wood's just lit now anyway. For this year's tractor run, there was a guy that came out once with one of these on the back of a pickup, started it all up and served everyone pizza when we did a farm walk one night. Anyway, unfortunately he's busy this year, but I could do with someone that can do that kind of thing, because we'll be busy sorting out the tractors and obviously leaving on the tractor run. But on the afternoon of the tractor run, for all the drivers, obviously there's 100 tractors going to be here, so there'll be 100 drivers plus passengers. Could do with someone that can come out with one of these, sell everyone a pizza for whatever it might be, a £5 or a £10 or whatever, and then obviously split some of the profit then for the charity, and then someone's had everything to eat before we set off on the tractor run. And I think we might be able to sort out some teas and coffees and soft drinks for everyone as well. So if anyone knows anyone local with a wood-fired pizza oven, or if this works really well and someone wants to run it all day, but don't forget you have to make the dough and get all the ingredients and mess about, then there's a job there for someone. But I prefer someone just turn up in a van and just get on with it and doesn't have anything to do with it, because there's enough to manage that day. Loads of people were messaging yesterday to say that I'd put 2 videos on and they were both the same. Well, they weren't. The first one I put on wasn't widescreen, and loads of people were messaging to say, why have you put that 2 videos on? Well, basically, I couldn't take the other one down because loads of people started commenting about Robin's tractor, so it was easy to leave that one on and then put the other one on in widescreen. So that's why there's 2 videos. So sorry about that, but today it's in widescreen. Yesterday I thought there wasn't that many birthdays, but what it is people text me like a few days beforehand and they just get completely lost in my phone. So if you're going to send a message for a birthday shout out, do it on the day of the birthday. So these I think are today's birthdays, if everyone can see, or is the light reflected. So Maya, Ollie and John Kirkwood, father and son birthday on the same day, Gary Turner and Bruce Quarton. But I think Philip Graham, Cyan Dowell, is it, and Hamish Wormouth, I think your birthday was yesterday, so happy birthday for yesterday if it was, but that's because someone sent it me like on Friday and said it's on Thursday and said it's on Friday, and it just gets completely lost. I get so many messages. I try to reply to everyone, whether it be on YouTube, Instagram or Facebook, but I just can't really cope with them all now, and I completely get lost. So someone, I might be in a conversation with someone, but then I'll get like 5 messages between that, and it just falls off the list. So I'm sorry about that, and I don't really know how I get around that because I think it's only going to get worse. Anyway, that's it for today. I'm going to try and cook a pizza now, and I'll see you tomorrow if I've not got food poisoning. But luckily my cold's going.